Good afternoon, students. I am Suraj Kumar, your geography teacher, and we are here to study about population distribution, density, growth, and composition. Chapter 1 of Part B of your NCERT book, India, People, and Economy. So, let's start. We already discussed few of the facts here in this chapter, something about the sources of the population data, censuses. The first census was at the time of Viceroy Lord Mayo, and that is in 1872. After just 9 years, there was a second census, which was the complete census, and that was at the time of 1881. Then we had seen the distribution of population, which country or which countries of which part of India having the population density on the higher side or lower side. Then we had seen the distribution of population map, and thereafter we had read about the unevenness of population at different parts of the country. We had seen the which part of the India is having a more population, and why it is so. Then we just ended with the data related with census. So today we are now starting with density of population. Let's come over the PDF. Density of population. So let's see it here. Density of population is expressed as a number of person per unit area, as we had already discussed in chapter 2 of part A of NCERT book. So density of population is number of person per unit area, and the density of population helps us in getting a better understanding of the spatial distribution of population in relation to land. It means that in a particular part of the area or particular region or a particular land, how much or what are the concentration of population or human density in a particular region or a part. Means there is a relation between the area and the people settle over there, and that ratio is indirectly known as density of population. The ratio between the area and the population or the number of people. If we look at after the figure of India, as per the census of 2001, there used to be a census at each and every 10 years. So last census is at 2011, and before that the census was at the time of 2001. So according to 2001 census, the density of India throughout the India is used to be 314 person per square kilometer. But in 2011 census, the last census, it raises up to 382 persons per square kilometer. As per 2001 census, India is third largest densely populated country of the world, or the third largest densely populated country of Asia, just after Bangladesh and Japan. But by the time of 2011 census, India becomes second according to density in Asia, just after Bangladesh. India overcome Japan. Now India is having a population density of 382 person per square kilometer in 2000 according to 2011 census, which is just behind, we had just surpassed Japan, which is at 338 person per square kilometer. Means we just surpassed Japan between 2001 to 2011 census. Okay. So if we look after the population increase in last 50 or 60 years, so we will find that we used to look at that last 50 years there has been an increase of more than 200% per square kilometer. Means population density of India was 117% per square kilometer in 1951 to 382% per square kilometer in 2011. So there was approximately increase of around 200% per square kilometer from 1951 to 1951 to 2001. By the time of 2011 or by the time of right now 220, there was an increase of around 230 to 240% per square kilometer. So these data, this chapter is totally based on data stats. So we need to look after these stats or data, otherwise it will be very difficult to trace down the crux of this chapter. So this chapter is all about the data and stats. You need to look after these data. So by now you had understand that what are the changes in population in last 50 to 60 years and why density is important, what is density, and what is relation between the land and the person or citizen or the people. So this density, which is given in appendix 1, gives an idea of spatial variation of population density in the country, which ranges from as low as 17% per square kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh to 11,300% in the National Capital Territory of India. What are the variation of density throughout the different part of India? So density of population is as low as 17% per square kilometer in northeastern states of Arunachal Pradesh, which is lowest density of India throughout all its states and union territory, to as large as 11,297% in case of NCR Delhi. Okay. So highest density including all UTs and states is of Delhi, which is 11,300 approximately, and lowest density is just 17% per square kilometer in case of Arunachal Pradesh. Besides that, different states, different bigger states, if we just look beyond the UTs, amongst the bigger states, then Bihar is having the highest population density among all the bigger states or among all the states of India, which is at 1102% per square kilometer. Actually, earlier in 2001 census, it was West Bengal who has the largest population density in the India among the bigger states or among the states of India. So Bihar just surpasses in 2011 census, and Bihar become the most densely populated state of India, just surpassing West Bengal. So Bihar is having a population density of 1102, surpassing West Bengal, which is at 1029, and the third position is Uttar Pradesh at the population density of 828 among the northern Indian states. If you look throughout the India, even then Bihar and West Bengal are at number 1 and number 2, but in case of throughout India, Kerala surpasses Uttar Pradesh, and Kerala is having population density of 859% per square kilometer. Okay. Among the peninsular states, as I already said, Kerala is number 3rd in population density. So among the peninsular states also, Kerala is number 1 at 859% per square kilometer, and then comes Tamil Nadu at 555% per square kilometer. Okay. States like Assam, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Jharkhand, Odisha have moderate density. These are the states having a moderate density. Just see it here. Through this map you will get the exact picture, ideas about the density of population. Let's see it here. And the scale is given in this index separately, is showing that population density above 1200, 1 person per square kilometer is shown by this dark line, and then 800, 1 to 1200, then 400, 1 to 800, slightly more lighter, then 100, 1 to 400, minimum lighter, and then the cross zigzag cross line less than 100. So these are the index scale. Now you can see it here that less than 100 means cross zigzag line is shown in northeastern states mainly. Let's see it in Arunachal Pradesh. It is here in Arunachal Pradesh, and among now northeast in Arunachal Pradesh. See it here. It's in Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. These two states is having, and Sikkim also. Let's see it here. Is Sikkim also. These three states, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram, is having a population density of less than 100 person per square kilometer in India among all the states. Just exclude UTs over here. Among the 28 Indian states, these three states having a population density of less than 100 person per square kilometer. Among the highest densely populated states, let's see it, North Indian states, all of the North Indian states, and in South India this Kerala. So Delhi is also dark. Delhi comes under 801 to 1200. Delhi is near about 1200. So Delhi is shown with slightly darker shades than other North Indian states like UP, Bihar. So Delhi is around 1200 person per square kilometer. Among the highest densely populated states, you see it here throughout this Ganga Brahmaputra delta plain like UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Haryana, Punjab, and in South India this Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So these states are among the highly densely populated states. Among the moderate states, as I already said, that states like Assam, Gujarat, Assam is in the northeast, Gujarat, western side of India, just above Maharashtra. This is Gujarat, this side, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Assam is here in northeast. Among the moderately populated states, the states like Assam, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh has just break down into two parts, Telangana and Andhra, coastal Andhra. Then Haryana, Jharkhand, Odisha. These states will come under moderate densely populated states of India. The hill states of Himalaya like J&K, Himachal, Uttarakhand, and the northeastern states of India excluding Assam. If you exclude Assam, the rest part like Nagaland, Agartala, Mizoram is least densely populated. Is Agartala, means Tripura, not Agartala, his state name is Tripura, then Manipur, Nagaland, Meghalaya. These are moderately or below moderate, means comparatively less densely populated state of northeast. So these states including Himalayan states of Jammu and Kashmir, J&K, Himachal and Uttarakhand. Okay, these states have relatively low density, while the UTs excluding Andaman and Nicobar Island and Lakshadweep Island. There are 9 UTs now. This Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep have less density, or these UTs are less densely populated UT. Otherwise, these two all UTs are comparatively have higher density of population. So you had now get the figure. So density of population is a crude measure of human and land relationship, as I already discussed or said above. Its density of population is the ratio between number of people residing and the area in which they used to stay, means they used to settle, means citizen divided by or population divided by area. So density of population is a crude measure of human and land relationship. To get a better insight into the human land ratio in terms of pressure of population on total cultivable land, the physiographical and the agricultural densities should be found out, which are significant for a country like India having a large agricultural population. So density, as I already discussed, is a relation between human and the land population divided by area of a particular place. And to understand the better understanding of the density and the relation between human and land, here we can look density into two ways, into two parts, as a physiographical density or agricultural density. Why it is so? Because India is having a very large agricultural population. So we need to focus and study agricultural density or physiographical density as separate from the population density of India. So we'll look into it. Let's see it here. Physiographical density is all about total population divided by net cultivable area, net cultivated area. So what is it? So you can look here that why it is so to look at density into physiographical density or agricultural density. The main factor behind it is India is an agrarian country, and more than 2/3 of the population is directly dependent upon agriculture and allied services. So as India is agrarian country, or total population, maximum of the population is dependent upon the agriculture. So we need to look into this separate study of density in the term of psychological density, physiographical density and the agricultural density. Physiographical density is total population of a particular region, area, state or country divided by the net cultivated area of that particular region, state, country. So what is so? If we are looking at the state like Bihar, let's suppose we are studying about the state Bihar. So total population of Bihar divided by net cultivated area of Bihar, not the total area of Bihar. Net cultivated area means at max at what part of the area we used to do cropping. Means what are the cropping area of the state, not the cultivable wasteland. Here it does not, cultivated area does not include the wasteland or area used for industry, other infrastructure. These are exert out, means these area is not included in net cultivated area. Net cultivated area means whatever area of a particular region or state used for cropping at the time of sowing, means whatever area crop is sown. जितने भी एरिया पे, जितने भी लैंड पे, किसी पर्टिकुलर एरिया के जो भी लैंड पे हम सोइंग करते हैं, बीज बोते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड द नेट कल्टिवेटेड एरिया. So you can understand here total population divided by net cultivated area is physiographical density. And agricultural density, total agricultural population divided by net cultivated area. In physiographical density, in case of physiographical density, we used to took up the total population of that area. But in case of agricultural density, total culturable population. And what is total agriculturable population? The agricultural population includes the farmer itself, that is cultivator, and the agricultural laborers, means farm laborers or landless laborers who used to work in others land, others farming land. Okay, and that agricultural laborers, cultivators and their family, means all the persons who are directly involved in agriculture and their family. These set of these people are called agricultural population. And agriculture density equal to total agricultural population divided by net cultivated area. Net cultivated area is again the same, the area in which at the time of sowing we used to sow crops. Means at the time of sowing, whatever area is used or taken up for cropping is called net cultivable area. With the help of the data given below in appendix 2, calculate the physiographical and agricultural density of population of Indian states and union territory. Means in case of appendix 2, there is a data given in your NCERT books appendix 2 where we can segregate the total population of particular state and the agricultural population of a particular state, and then based on those data is saying in this activity is saying that you need to calculate the physiographical and agricultural density. The next topic is the growth of population. So as we already discussed in the last class also, there is a topic, growth of population. So growth of population is a change in the number of people living in a particular area between 2 points of time. Means since the last census, what is the change in the number of population by next census in a particular area, or particular state or a particular country between the 2 point of time is between two census. The time between the two censuses is 10 years. Means in 10 years, what is the number of population increase or decrease or change between a particular area? Okay, in a particular area between two census. Okay, so you can understand it. This rate is expressed in percentage. So absolute growth of population is all about the change in population in absolute number. Means exactly by number how much population or person increase or decrease in a particular area between a same point of time, between the 2 point of time. This is absolute growth of population. And if we consider the rate of the population growth, it is expressed in terms of percentage. By last census, how much in terms of percentage there is a growth of population, that is called population growth. So population growth has two components, namely natural or induced. So he's saying that population growth, the growth of population has two components mainly. One is natural population growth or growth in population, natural growth in population, and second is induced growth in population. Natural growth in population is calculated in terms of natural birth rate or natural death rate or crude death rate. It means it is computed in terms of crude birth rate and crude death rate, whereas induced population growth or growth in population is calculated in terms of number of peoples migrated in or migrated out. So here in this chapter we will look into the natural population change or natural growth in population. Induced growth in population we will see in next chapter under migration. Okay. The next concept here is decadal and annual growth rate of population in India. So we will look into this, that the decadal and annual growth of population in India are both very high and steadily increasing over time. Decadal growth in population in terms of two census. In the time for which we calculate a decadal growth in population or decadal change in population is in terms of in between two census, that is 10 years, between 10 years, means last census and this census. Whereas in case of annual growth rate of population, it's within 1 year, means since the last 1 year back, what is change in or increase or decrease in population in just 1 year. That is all about annual growth of population. So decadal and annual growth of population in India are both very high and steadily increasing over time. Means decadal and annual, both the rate of growth of population is very high and it is steadily increasing. So there is no negative change. There is always a increase or positive change in population. There is always a steadily increasing in population over time. Annual growth rate of India's population is 1.64%. This is the figure. 1.64% is the annual growth rate of population in 2011 census. In 2001 census, it was at 2.4%. Means at the time of 2001 census, the growth rate of population of India was 2.4%. Okay. It is estimated that the country population will double itself in another 36 years. It is estimated at the time of 2001 census that the population of the country will be doubled in next 36 years, and at the time of 2001 census, it is even estimated that India's population will surpass the population of China in near future. By the time of 2011 census, it was formed that we are going to surpass China, and right now in 2020 we are just nearing to China. Our population is around 138 crore and China is now at near about 142 crore. So we are just 4 crore behind China, and maybe in next 4 to 5 years we will going to surpass China. Then the next concept is population doubling time. Population doubling time is the time in which population doubles itself. Okay. So what it means, it is defined here that population doubling time is the time taken by the population to double itself at the current annual growth rate. Means whatever annual growth rate of population is happening, at the same rate in whatever year or whatever time, the population of a particular region or country will double to itself. That time period in which population doubles to itself at the current annual growth rate is called population doubling time. So that was seen that in 2001 census, it is said that in 36 years that India will double its population. Means at that time India's population doubling time is just 36 years. The growth rate of population in India over the last 1 century has been caused by annual birth rate and the death rate and the rate of migration. As I already said, induced and the natural growth. So here we are focusing on natural population growth. Induced will be seen in next chapter. So he's repeating the same thing again and again, and thereby shows different trend. And because on the basis of these two concept, first concept on the basis of birth rate and death rate, and second on the basis of rate of migration, there shows are different trends, and there are 4 distinct phases of growth identified within this period. Means on the basis of these two changes, birth rate, death rate and migration. The world population or growth of population is divided into four different phases, and that are, just see it here, that four different phases are: first phase, phase 1, the period from 1901 to 1921, and this period is referred to as a period of stagnant or stationary phase of growth of India's population. Second phase is decade 1921 to 1951, and it is referred with period of steady population growth. Then the third phase is from decade of 1951 to 81, and it is referred to as the period of population explosion in India. Means mainly the population increase or the change of population is on higher side between 1951 to 1981, and the last phase is from 1981 till present. And in this phase also, growth rate of the country population is throughout remained on the higher side. So these are the four phases of population change, and we will see it in the next chapter. Right now we need to look at there is one table. This is table 1.1. This is all about decadal growth rate in India between 1901 to 1921. Here you can see it here that there is always absolute number here you have to see, यहाँ पे देखिए आप लोग कि एब्सोल्यूट नंबर के टर्म में दे रखा है और परसेंटेज ग्रोथ के टर्म में दे रखा है. ऑलवेज देयर इज अ एब्सोल्यूट नंबर के अंदर देखें, ऑलवेज देयर इज पॉजिटिव साइन, देयर इज ओनली अ नेगेटिव साइन एट द टाइम ऑफ 1921 to 1931. So this is minus 7724. This is the only negative or the negative rate of growth of population or negative change in population in terms of absolute number. So besides, we will look it into the detail in the next class. Here a map is also there. Growth of population, growth rate of population. Here you can see it that darker part is when the population rate of growth of population is above 25%, then it's on the darker side, then semi darker, then little bit less darker, then comparatively whiter, and then crisscross whiter, less than 10. So Bihar, Arunachal and Meghalaya is having a population growth rate at the higher side, that is above 25% or more rate of change of population growth. Besides, all the North Indian states, Jammu and Kashmir and northeastern states also comes under the higher population growth rate. It includes Rajasthan, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana. And then comes the third 15 to 20% growth rate. States like Uttarakhand, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka comes under this. And then 10 to 15% Andhra, Odisha, West Bengal, Punjab, Himachal and Kerala. And rest less than 10%. That is Nagaland. Nagaland is having a negative rate of population growth. So we will look all these things in detail in the next class, where we will also discuss the different phases of population growth or growth of population. If there is any doubt, you can ask the question. Let's see you. Bye bye.